Activated, your window into an extraordinary world lived by many yet celebrated by few. We showcase how to rally for persons with disabilities, taking you on a journey with valuable life lessons and intriguing personalities, leaving you ready for action. Activated takes us on a journey of taking lessons from persons with disabilities and how we must do things differently to unleash the contribution persons with disabilities can and must make to building a disability-inclusive Mzansi. In today's program, we explore workplaces where employees with disabilities belong, participate, and thrive. We meet Nkosinathi Zwane. He speaks about his disability every opportunity he gets. His belief is that talking helps to find healing. We speak to Kerry Walsh, who is extremely passionate about changing the level of accessibility in South Africa, because everyone deserves to live without the fear of premises not being accessible. And we end our show with Pasche Dreyer about having a sense of belonging to unlock creativity, innovation, loyalty, and productivity. Hallo en welkom to Activated with me, Helge Barkhuizen. Om te werk is 'n kritiese belangrike deel van ons lewe. Dit raak nie net mense se ekonomiese welstand nie, maar ook die arbeidsmag se fisiese en geestelike welstand. Mense spandeer die meeste van hul tyd in die werkspasie in die strewe om 'n bestaan te verdien. Hierdie ruimte kan help om mense se lewensbestaan te verbeter of dit hoogs onmenslik wees. In hierdie episode ontmoet ons 'n paar wonderlike individue met stories van hoop en inspirasie dat werkplekke ruimtes kan wees waar mense kan floreer. Now let's get activated. The South African government has incredible policies, guided by the White Paper on the Rights of Persons with Disability and the Employment Equity Act of 2000 to promote equal employment and access to economic opportunities in the public and private sector. Still, there is little to no implementation or effective benchmarking tools to hold government and corporates accountable for the transition of being truly inclusive. Let's meet Ruben Mogomotsi Koka, who has not allowed his impairment to limit his dreams and to live a half-life. Nkosinathi Zwane has been a consultant since 2005. His career started with years of service in the South African military. He was a biker and very outgoing, something he has not allowed disability to change. Nathi was shot 23 times and survived. He uses a wheelchair and has managed to integrate work with his new normal.
Disability has affected my life in a positive way. I only got to accept about my disability a year ago. So 6 years after my accident, whenever I talk to the gents or talk to whoever who wants to listen to me, more especially if you were used to doing things on your own. It takes a very strong person to survive this. This is no play. It's to especially if uzalo uphelele. It's to and for people who don't understand your frustrations, it even frustrates you more. So I give all thanks to my military experience. If it wasn't of that, I don't think I'm having appeal. Because I would have taken myself out of the game long ago. I have 2 pistols in the house. I haven't tried committing suicide, but I've thought of it, and many times. But I think Uba Ipsojeni is what actually helped me to pull throughout the darkness. Being the guy that I was prior to the accident, and now I have to go back to work in Kerry pants, you can just imagine. I thought of Abu Eldrick, there's this colleague of mine, he's forever loud, but I love it to bits. Behind my back, and all to find that they welcomed me, and they didn't. I think into Asulayo, it's people that want to help you. Because now I can do this. You know, I can do this until I ask you to help me. And I think somehow they knew that. So they were not all up in my face, and they were not treating me like umuntu olimele. Because I could still do my job apart from the fact that I can't travel anymore. We have things like disability forums, which I'm part of, by the way. So this is where now we started sharing our different stories to the forum. And the forum has been great. It's been doing great each year. We had a meeting, I remember, about December. And yeah, we just keep on doing wonders in terms of understanding ukuthi umuntu ohleli phansi makahleli phansi isikhathi eside igazi liyayehla, understanding umuntu ongaboni ukuthi umuntu ongaboni, how can we assist umuntu ongezwa, you know, because there's other disabilities ezingabonakali, you know, thina wethu ayabonakala and thina siyakwazi ukuzikhulumela. What about those people who actually can't, you know, voice out disability yabo? So the forum encouraged abantu ukuthi beze bazo disclose ama disability wabo, and I think the business we on par. Yeah, we're doing great. Learning how to treat people with different disabilities, it's something that needs to be preached, and I think we need to have what do they call it? Not seminars. What do you call them? Like hold meetings, you know, with different departments, so that they can also be aware. Would say, hey, we're living with such people in our building. I appreciate those smaller things in life, you know. It's not that bad, man. Yes, you own a chair, but at least you have a car. You know what I mean? And stop focusing on the negativity, man. They're just gonna pull you down, you know, and there's so much beautiful things out there. I mean, look, you know, my wife is taking good care of me. I mean, those are the things that we need to be focusing on. Oh, well, those are the things that I focus on. You know what I mean? Things are good at work. Position, there's growth, which is something I'm willing to grasp so that I can be exec. So yeah, that's me. I appreciate logong now. It could have been worse. I always find positive in every situation. So ingakho ngithi unokuthi ngigijimisa ama position mina ngithe uNkulunkulu wami nedlozi lami ngiyabonga for umsebenzi onginikeze wona. At least I'm able to feed abantwana bami. What more do you want? You know what I mean? So yeah.
And to quote the author and disability rights activist Samia Klalit, disability cannot stop me from becoming a complete personality. After the break, we speak to Kerry Walsh, who has SMA, defied all odds, and managed to live past her life expectancy. We'll be right back. Having been diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy at the age of 1, Kerry was given the life expectancy of 5 years. Miraculously, she is currently 25 years of age and holds an honours degree in communications. Kerry is happy with the level of accessibility her office has. She attributes her easy work transition to her ability to ask for assistance from her colleagues, as evident from management that has created an enabling, supporting, and trusting environment that has created a trickle-down effect to the rest of her colleagues. Welcome, Kerry. It's so great having you with us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
You've lived your whole life with SMA. You've defied all odds and you worked really hard for your honours degree, but still you didn't think that you'd be placed in a corporate company. Why did you feel that way?
I think society makes you believe that you have an expiry date, and given the life expectancy of 5 years, we hadn't really planned much past 5 years old anyway. So every year after that is kind of a new plan and a new strategy of, oh, we actually have another year that we're going to work for. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do because I hadn't really thought that far as an option. So I did a lot of trial and error and said yes to everything, which I still kind of do, but it's the best way to learn.
Mm-hmm. and it opens up new opportunities. You went to a mainstream school. What of your experiences there and the learnings that you take away from it can you help employers implement to create an inclusive workplace?
It was really difficult in school because schools aren't made for people with disabilities. So we were a stepping stone, and we taught a lot of the schools that I was in specifically what to do and how to change things to make it inclusive. And I think with that, you got to then go and teach the workplace, and you've got to just be a part of creating change in the workplace or finding a workplace that is ready and willing to create the change before you even get there.
You joined your company in 2020 through the Pathways program. Can you tell us more about the program and how that was utilized with your workplace in creating an inclusive environment?
Yes, so Sage created Pathways in connection with their DEI initiative to create diversity, inclusion, and equity within their business. And it's all about creating an environment that's equal opportunity for everyone, and an environment that's really open in creating the conversation of inclusion, and it's in everything. It's in all kinds of accessibility, all kinds of industry. They really want to make it an environment that's giving everyone an opportunity to be successful in their specific way, in their environment, within a company as a whole.
Kerry, according to you, what are the biggest problems we face with inclusive workplaces today?
One of the biggest problems in my experience is always accessibility. I mean, when looking for a position, I would apply for interviews, and you would arrive at a place and there would be stairs. And you've applied, you've explained in your interview, because I know that you don't have to declare it, but for me, I want them to know what kind of person they're getting. And I also want them to have a full understanding of what I'm coming with and what it involves. And they just people don't always understand. And we always say, until you have to experience it, you won't understand. But it's about teaching people as much as possible that a ramp isn't just a ramp, and a door isn't just a door, and like it's something so little, but it is easy to change, and for them it can make a world of difference with independence.
Sure. What should employers spend time and money on, when they're looking at creating an inclusive workplace?
I'm big on knowledge. Knowledge has always been my fight, and what I want to share with the world is just creating awareness, because the more that colleagues know and understand, the more that they'll be willing to help create the change, and they'll also just be more understanding to that person specifically that they work with every day.
Absolutely. What does the future hold for Kerry? What can we look forward to?
Kerry's very much winging it every day, but I'm definitely hoping to keep my personal K-motivation going. Creating awareness is a big part of what I do, and I love my job, but having more than one job seems to also be my new middle name. So I'm doing my best to create awareness and just be a part of the change that I think the world really needs to see.
That's great to hear. In closing, do you have anything else that you'd like to leave with our viewers today?
I think you got to give yourself the opportunity. I always say you just have to give it a go, and if you're willing to try, the worst that people can say is no. So give it a go. It might not always work out, but it's not necessarily because you have a disability. It just might not work out for you, and you're only going to know what you're good at when you try it.
Thank you, Kerry. It's been so great having you with us today.
Thank you. It's really cool to be a part of this.
After the break, we meet Pasche Dreyer, who represents employees with psychosocial disabilities. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Pasche werk al 16 jaar vir 'n groot selfoonmaatskappy. Het 11 jaar as die sekretaresse van die uitvoerende departementshoof gedien en is sedertdien aangestel as 'n junior aansoekspesialis. Sy het ook pas 'n bestuursleerlingskap voltooi wat deur haar maatskappy vir persone met gestremthede ontwerp is. Let's meet her. Pasche credits her work to be her saving grace, as she was diagnosed with genetic chronic depression disorder. This illness is responsible for the loss of her mother, who committed suicide. Second to which, her grandmother and brother struggle with the same disorder.
I literally have to fight the fight of my life, for my life, every single day. So a lot of people say, take each day one step, one day at a time. I literally take 1 hour at a time. I never know how I'm gonna wake up. Tomorrow morning, I could wake up and feel okay. Or I could wake up in a major depressive state. I never know how I'm going to feel. I could wake up suicidal. I could wake up with suicidal thoughts, with suicidal ideations. I never know. Or generally during a day, I'd be okay, and then suddenly it hits me. So it's a extremely, extremely, extremely tough illness to live with. And I think I know it's one of the most dangerous and deadly illnesses that I personally have ever come across, because it's so hidden and anybody can put up a front, and because there's still that lack of understanding. So I think a lot of people need to be very cognizant of how they treat others, because you don't know if somebody is struggling and suffering in silence. Because a lot of us, we tend to put up a brave front. We don't like to speak about it because of the judgment and because we don't want people looking at us differently. For me personally, I've outgrown that. I speak openly about it. I think it's so important. I've been working at my current employer for 16 years. And in my current role, I've been in that role for about, 3 to 4 years. And what I would love companies and other employers out there to know is that people with psychosocial disabilities, we are extremely happy to be working. I regard work as my saving grace. It has literally saved my life on so many occasions, because it forces you to get up. Having a job and knowing that I have deliverables forces me to get out of bed. It forces me to function. It makes me feel worthy, like I'm worth something, like I'm able, I'm capable, and I'm able. It brings me joy to a degree, because I feel like I'm still part of society. I love the fact that I have a job. I love the fact that I can still get up and work, and I love the company that I'm at. I love what they are doing for people with disabilities, especially psychosocial disabilities. So I've learned that I can use my voice for change. I've also learned by being open and brutally honest about your illness can bring about huge, significant and amazing change. It allows others going through the same illness to speak more openly about their illness. It also gives them a platform to feel safe. People with these kind of illnesses, they feel more comfortable speaking to somebody that they can relate to, someone that has a real deep understanding of the emotions and the struggles, because we can easily pick up when somebody is being sincere and when somebody is not. So when they hear that you are struggling and you're open about it, it makes them feel free and more comfortable. So I'm hoping that by using my voice, I'm able to create more change for people with psychosocial disabilities or diagnosed mental illness. I would love to encourage all companies to ensure that they drive inclusion in the workplace. I think it is so, so, so important. And especially for people with psychosocial disabilities, they have no idea how beneficial it is, and they'll also be part of saving lives, because you're literally helping that person with their journey by including them and not basically shoving them aside and saying you are worthless and we do not want you. So I'm hoping that a lot more employees would take on people with psychosocial disabilities, and if you do have staff with psychosocial disabilities, to get a better understanding of these struggles and allow them to be open without judgment, without victimization. For the future, I just want to be alive. I just want to live. I'm just grateful to be here today. When I wake up in the morning, I always thank God that I'm alive. There are times where I know that God has been looking out for me. I shouldn't be here today. If you guys really know the journey I've been on over the past few years and the darkness and the danger I faced, it is only through the grace of God that I'm here today. And I'm hoping that in the future, there are other organizations that will drive inclusion, that will start taking on staff with psychosocial disabilities. I think that is a huge change that needs to happen. And I also am wanting these conversations to happen more and more. And there should be more drive within society for people with psychosocial disabilities. And as per the World Health Organization, depression is the #1 disability worldwide. Not even physical disability, depression. It is the #1 disability. So I hope to continue using my voice, and I'm hoping that my openness and my brutal honesty about this illness touches people's lives, makes people want to learn, would draw more people to those living with depression, wanting to help them, wanting to understand. And also with those living with depression, I'm hoping that they find a voice within themselves and know that it's okay to not be okay, and that sharing your story is amazing, and sharing your story can also save somebody's life. It is life impacting for the next person.
While diversity is cited as a top value by almost every organization, people with disabilities often are overlooked or undersupported. Very few organizations include initiatives for hiring people with disabilities, and many don't consider whether their policies and practices are making it harder than necessary for people with disabilities to fully participate. As a result, they're missing out on a great source of talent, and we're all missing out on the full potential of people whose abilities put them in some way outside the standard fit in our workplaces. Having disability inclusion policies is not just the right thing to do, it's good for everyone at every level of your company. En so het ons aan die einde van vandag se program gekom. Bly veilig tot volgende week, selfde plek, selfde tyd aan jou SABC2 You Belong. Join, like and share Activated on Facebook.